My child, I know you're busy, and I'm sorry to interrupt you like this truly. I know your life feels full, your mind crowded, your time pulled in many directions. I know how carefully you choose what deserves your attention. But you cannot ignore this. Not because I want to demand something from you, but because I see something you cannot see yet, and love will not let me stay silent when silence would cost you more. The enemy is hoping you scroll past right now. Not with fear, not with force, but with distraction. They do not need to attack you loudly. They only need you to stay busy, to stay numb, to stay moving just fast enough that you do not stop to listen. That is all they want in this moment. Delay, distraction, dismissal. And I am speaking now because I refuse to let that happen without warning you first. They do not want you to see this, because what you are about to hear will wake you up. Awareness weakens their hold. Clarity breaks subtle chains. When you see clearly, you stop agreeing with things that have been draining you quietly. That is why this moment feels urgent. Not because you are weak, but because you are close to seeing something that changes how you move forward. I would not stop you like this unless it mattered deeply. I do not interrupt lightly. I know how often you are interrupted already. I know how precious uninterrupted moments feel to you. That is why I chose this one. Because what you don't see yet is already affecting you, and love does not wait until damage is obvious to speak. Please don't tell yourself you will listen later. I know that voice well. It sounds reasonable. It sounds calm. It tells you this can wait until you are less tired, less distracted, more available. But later has already taken more from you than you realize. Later has stretched into weeks and months before, and by the time you returned, the clarity you needed felt harder to grasp. I am calling you into now, not to rush you, but to protect you. You are being distracted on purpose, and you need to know why. Not everything pulling at your attention is harmless. Not everything demanding your time is neutral. Some distractions are carefully designed to keep you from noticing what is shifting in your heart, what is draining your spirit, what is slowly pulling you away from peace. I am not accusing you. I am revealing what has been happening so you can choose with awareness instead of habit. I see how full your life feels. I see the responsibilities you carry. I see the expectations placed on you. I see how hard you try to keep everything together. But I also see something else. I see how your soul has been targeted quietly. Not through crisis, but through exhaustion. Not through chaos, but through constant noise. That is why you feel tired in ways sleep does not fix. That is why your heart feels heavy without a clear reason. This is not random. Open now. Stay with me. This message is protection. Not from me, but for you. Protection does not always look like comfort. Sometimes it looks like interruption. Sometimes it looks like a voice saying, "Stop for a moment. Look. Listen." That is what I am doing right now. I am speaking because I love you, not because you are failing. I need you to hear that clearly. This is not correction rooted in disappointment. This is warning rooted in care. If you were failing, I would not be this close. If you were lost beyond hope, I would not be speaking so personally. I am speaking because you matter, and what is happening around you matters. Do not scroll past. What you don't see can still harm you. Ignorance does not protect the heart. Awareness does. When you know what is happening, you can choose differently. When you understand the pull, you can resist it. When you see the pattern, you stop blaming yourself for feeling off. I am giving you understanding so you can breathe again. I know part of you wants to turn away, not because you don't care, but because intensity feels heavy. I know you would rather stay comfortable than confront something unseen. But comfort without truth eventually collapses. I am offering you truth now so your peace does not rest on something fragile. You may feel tension rising in you as you listen. That is not fear. That is recognition. Something in you knows this moment matters. Something in you knows this is not just another message. That is why the enemy hopes you scroll. Because if you stay, you will start connecting dots you were never meant to ignore. I am not here to overwhelm you with information. I am here to sharpen your awareness. Awareness is gentle when it is guided. You do not need to figure everything out right now. You only need to stay long enough to see what you have been missing. Type I believe, Lord, even in silence if you know He's working behind the scenes. You have been strong for a long time. You have carried more than most people know. You have pushed through seasons where you should have rested. You have stayed productive even when your spirit needed quiet. That strength has been admirable, but it has also made you vulnerable. Busy hearts are easier to pull than broken ones. That is why I am stepping in now. I am not angry with you for being busy. I am not disappointed in you for being distracted. I understand how this world pulls at you constantly. That is why I am speaking with urgency instead of accusation. I am not here to shame you. I am here to wake you gently before weariness becomes numbness. Stay with me for a moment longer. Let your breathing slow. Let your heart stop racing ahead. You do not need to respond yet. You do not need to decide anything yet. You only need to listen. Listening is already an act of protection. I know you are tempted to think this is dramatic. I know you want to downplay it to make it easier to move on. But hear me. The most dangerous moments are not the loud ones. They are the quiet ones where nothing seems wrong but something is slowly drifting. I am speaking now because I love you too much to let that drift continue unnoticed. You are not alone in this moment. I am here with you. I am not watching from a distance. I am close, speaking directly to your heart, because you are worth the interruption. Open now. Stay with me. This message is not here to scare you. It is here to protect you, to steady you, to help you see clearly again. Do not scroll past. Stay. What you choose to do with this moment matters more than you realize. My child, I see how busy you are. I see the full calendar, the constant messages, the responsibilities that never seem to end. I see how your mind is always moving, how your days blur together, how even rest feels rushed. I know you did not wake up today planning to be interrupted, and I am truly sorry for breaking into your moment like this. I do not take your time lightly. I know how precious every minute feels to you right now. Please hear my heart clearly. I am not interrupting you because you have done something wrong. I am not stopping you to accuse you, to correct you harshly, or to add more weight to your already heavy load. I am interrupting you because I love you, and love sometimes steps in even when it feels inconvenient. Love does not always wait for the perfect moment. Love moves when protection is needed. I know how hard you work to keep everything together. I know how much effort it takes just to get through the day. You carry responsibilities that others do not see. You solve problems quietly. You show up even when you are tired. You keep going even when your heart feels stretched thin. I see all of that. I honor that. And I am not here to take away your strength. I am here because you have been carrying too much alone. I want to apologize gently, because I know interruption can feel frustrating. You may feel like you don't have space for one more thing, one more voice, one more demand. But listen to me carefully now. This is not a demand. This is an invitation. I am not asking you to add something to your list. I am asking you to pause, because continuing without awareness will cost you more than stopping for a moment with me. Love interrupts comfort when comfort begins to hide danger. Comfort can be good, but comfort can also numb awareness. When life moves fast enough, you stop noticing what is happening inside you. You stop hearing the quiet signals of your soul. You stop recognizing when something is draining you slowly. I am interrupting you not to disturb your peace, but to protect it. I'm not blaming you for being busy. I know this world pulls at you constantly. I know distractions are everywhere, calling for your attention, your energy, your emotions. I do not judge you for responding to them. I understand how easy it is to get swept along. That is why I am stepping in now, gently but clearly, before exhaustion turns into numbness and numbness turns into distance. This interruption is not an accusation. It is protection. I am not pointing a finger at you. I am reaching out a hand. I am saying, come here for a moment. Let me show you what you cannot see when you are always moving. You are not in trouble. You are not failing. You are loved enough to be warned before harm settles in quietly. I know part of you feels guilty even hearing this. You wonder if you should be doing more, praying more, listening more. Let the guilt go right now. Guilt is not my voice. Guilt pushes you away. Love draws you closer. I am not here to shame you into attention. I am here to invite you into safety. I see how tired your soul is, even if your body keeps going. I see the weariness you don't talk about. I see how your joy has been thinner lately, how your peace feels fragile, how your thoughts feel scattered. None of this makes you weak. It makes you human. And it tells me that this interruption is necessary. I would not stop you like this unless it mattered deeply. I would not press into your busy life unless staying silent would cost you something precious. There are moments when waiting feels polite but is actually harmful. This is one of those moments. Waiting would mean allowing you to keep pushing forward without realizing what is pulling at you from behind. You may feel resistance right now. You may want to rush through this and get back to what you were doing. I understand that instinct. But stay with me for a moment longer. Let yourself breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart slow down enough to hear me clearly. Please support our channel. Our work is focused on bringing happiness into your life and deepening devotion to God. If you would like to support us, you can donate through Super Thanks. I am not here to overwhelm you with information. I am here to restore awareness. Awareness brings choice. Choice brings freedom. When you see clearly, you can move wisely. When you are unaware, even good intentions can lead you into exhaustion. I know how much you value being responsible, dependable, productive. Those qualities are not wrong. But when they begin to replace rest, connection, and listening, they become heavy. I am interrupting you now so you do not lose yourself while trying to hold everything else together. This moment is not about fixing anything immediately. It is about seeing. It is about recognizing what hath been happening beneath the surface of your busy life. It is about letting me stand with you in the middle of your day instead of only at the edges. I am close to you right now. Not demanding, not disappointed, not distant. Close. Speaking gently, even with urgency, because urgency does not have to be harsh. Urgency can be loving. Urgency can be careful. Urgency can be a sign that you matter deeply. I want you to feel safe here. Safe enough to stop multitasking. Safe enough to admit you are tired. Safe enough to listen without defending yourself. I am not asking you to drop your responsibilities. I am asking you to let me help you carry them. You have been strong for a long time. You have adapted. You have pushed through. But strength without rest eventually becomes strain. I am interrupting you before strain turns into something harder to heal. Please do not see this as one more thing asking for your attention. See it as the one thing offering you relief. I am not competing with your life. I am part of it. I want to walk with you through it, not wait for you to collapse before I step in. Stay with me here. Let this interruption become a moment of heaviness out of an answer. Let it remind you that you are not alone in your busy life. You are seen. You are cared for. You are protected. I interrupted you because you matter to me more than your schedule. I interrupted you because your soul is worth guarding. And I will continue speaking gently, clearly, and lovingly, as long as you are willing to stay and listen. My child, I want to speak to you clearly about what the enemy hopes you will do right now. Not to frighten you, not to make you suspicious of everything around you, but to help you see what is happening so you are no longer unaware. Awareness is not fear. Awareness is light. And light removes the power of what hides in the shadows. The enemy is not hoping to attack you loudly in this moment. They are not planning chaos or dramatic destruction. That is not their strategy here. Their hope is much quieter, much simpler. They hope you delay. They hope you dismiss this moment as unimportant. They hope you scroll past, tell yourself this can wait, and move on without noticing what just tried to reach you. Delay is one of their most effective tools. Delay does not feel dangerous. It feels reasonable. It sounds calm. It whispers, you can come back to this later, or this isn't urgent, or you're too busy right now. Delay does not raise alarms. That is why it works. It slowly moves truth out of reach without ever appearing to oppose it. The enemy does not need you to reject me. They only need you to stay distracted long enough that you never fully listen. They do not need you to fall apart. They only need you to keep going on autopilot. They do not need to steal your faith. They only need to dull your awareness. A distracted heart is easier to guide than a broken one. Scrolling past may feel like nothing. Just a small movement of your finger. Just a moment of distraction. But spiritually, scrolling past is often avoidance dressed as normal behavior. It is the act of moving away from something that feels weighty before it has a chance to speak clearly. Not because you are rebellious, but because depth feels uncomfortable when you are already tired. The enemy understands how busy you are. They see how full your mind is. They know you are exhausted. That is why they do not push hard. They pull gently. They add noise. They add urgency to everything else so this moment feels optional. They do not need to stop me from speaking. They only need to keep you from listening. Their greatest fear is not your strength. It is your awareness. Strength can be misdirected. Strength can be worn down. But awareness changes direction. Awareness makes you stop agreeing with things that drain you. Awareness helps you notice patterns you have been repeating without realizing why. Awareness brings choice back into your hands. This is why I am speaking now. Because something in you is becoming aware. You have already felt it. That sense that something is off. That quiet pressure that does not go away. That feeling that you are busy but not fully at peace. Those are not random emotions. Those are signals. And the enemy hopes you ignore them long enough that they fade back into the background. I want you to understand this without fear. The enemy does not have authority over you. They do not control you. They cannot force you. That is why they rely on distraction. They work through agreement. When you stay unaware, you unknowingly agree to carry burdens you were never meant to carry. When you become aware, that agreement breaks. They are not afraid of you becoming louder or more active. They are afraid of you becoming still and honest. Stillness reveals truth. Honesty exposes lies you have been living under without realizing it. That is why this moment feels important. Because stillness and honesty are close right now. Delay keeps you from connecting the dots. Delay keeps you from realizing why you have been so tired, why joy feels thinner, why peace feels fragile. Delay keeps you blaming yourself for things that are actually happening around you. Awareness shifts that blame into understanding. Understanding leads to freedom. The enemy hopes you tell yourself this message is dramatic. They hope you minimize it so you can move on comfortably. They hope you say, "This doesn't apply to me," even though something in you knows it does. Minimizing truth is another way of delaying response. It allows you to stay comfortable without being changed. I am not telling you this so you become suspicious of every thought or fearful of every distraction. That is not my desire. I am telling you so you can see clearly. Clear sight does not make you anxious. It steadies you. When you know what is happening, you stop reacting blindly. You may wonder why distraction feels so strong lately. Why it is harder to focus. Why quiet moments feel uncomfortable. Why you instinctively reach for noise. That is not because you are weak. It is because something does not want you to sit long enough to hear what your heart has been trying to say. The enemy hopes you stay busy enough that you never ask deeper questions. Busy enough that you never pause long enough to notice patterns. Busy enough that you keep functioning without healing. That is why they prefer distraction over destruction. Distraction keeps you alive but distant. Alive but unaware. Alive but carrying weight you do not need to carry. I want you alert, not alarmed. Alertness is calm. Alertness is steady. Alertness simply notices. Panic cloud the judgment. Awareness sharpens it. I am not asking you to fight anything right now. I am asking you to see. Comment Jesus, you have all of me if you've surrendered your life completely to Him. Seeing breaks the cycle. When you see the pull of distraction, you can choose not to follow it. When you see the pattern of delay, you can choose to respond differently. When you see how noise has been used to keep you from listening, you can choose stillness without fear. The enemy hopes you treat this moment as optional. I am telling you it is protective. Not because danger is everywhere, but because truth is near. When truth is near, resistance often rises quietly. That resistance does not mean something bad is happening. It means something important is. You do not need to be stronger than the enemy. You need to be aware. Awareness brings you back into alignment with me. Alignment brings peace. Peace restores clarity. Clarity makes you harder to pull off course. I know you have a lot demanding your attention. I know it feels selfish to pause. But this pause is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot pour from a heart that has been quietly drained by distraction. I am helping you notice the drain so it can be closed. Do not fear the enemy. Fear gives them more attention than they deserve. Simply refuse to stay unaware. Refuse to move past this moment without listening. Refuse to tell yourself this does not matter. That is all that is required right now. Stay with me a little longer. Let this awareness settle without panic. You are not in danger. You are being protected. You are not being attacked. You are being invited to see clearly again. The enemy hoped you would scroll past. You did. That matters. Not because you fought, but because you stayed. And staying opens the door for truth to do its work gently, steadily, and completely. Remain here with me. Awareness is growing. And as it grows, the pull of distraction will lose its power over you. My child, I need you to hear this with seriousness, not fear. Distraction is more dangerous than you think, not because it is loud or obvious, but because it works quietly. It does not announce itself as harm. It presents itself as normal life. It blends into your day so smoothly that you do not notice what it is slowly taking from you. That is why I am speaking now, with clarity and weight, because what is subtle can be more damaging than what is sudden. Distraction dulls discernment. Discernment is your ability to sense what is true, what is aligned, what is not meant for you. When discernment is sharp, you recognize when something is pulling you away from peace. You notice when a thought does not come from me. You feel when a choice will cost you more than it gives. But distraction blunts that edge. It makes everything feel equal. Important and unimportant begin to blend together, and you stop noticing what deserves your attention most. This does not happen overnight. That is why it is dangerous. It happens slowly, in small shifts you barely register. You fill every quiet moment with noise. You move from one task to the next without pausing. You consume words, images, opinions, information, until your mind feels full but your heart feels empty. Over time, you stop checking in with your spirit. You stop listening inwardly. Not because you don't care, but because you are tired. Spiritual numbness does not arrive as darkness. It arrives as dullness. You still function. You still show up. You still believe. But you feel less. Joy feels thinner. Conviction feels quieter. Peace feels harder to reach. You begin to accept heaviness as normal. You tell yourself this is just how life is now. That is numbness, subtly and gently. Busy people are especially vulnerable to this, not because they are doing something wrong, but because busyness leaves little room for reflection. When you are always moving, you do not notice when you are drifting. When you are always responding, you stop initiating listening. You begin to live in reaction instead of alignment. That slow drift is what concerns me, because drift rarely feels dangerous until you look back and realize how far you have moved from where you started. Noise replaces listening before you realize it has happened. You still hear many voices, many sounds, many opinions, but you stop hearing mine clearly. Not because I stopped speaking, but because there is no space left for my voice to settle. My voice is steady. It is not frantic. It does not compete. When everything else grows louder, my voice becomes easier to overlook, even though it has not changed. I see how often you reach for noise without thinking. A screen, a task, a conversation, something to fill the space. Silence feels uncomfortable now, not because it is empty, but because it exposes what you have been avoiding. In silence, you notice your fatigue. You notice your questions. You notice your longing. Distraction keeps those things at a distance, but distance does not heal them. I am not condemning you for this. I understand the pressure you live under. I understand how this world rewards speed and constant output. I understand how rest can feel unproductive and quiet can feel unsafe. But I need you to see what is happening so you can choose differently, not from guilt, but from wisdom. Distraction makes you easier to lead without your consent. When you are not aware, you agree without realizing it. You agree to carry stress you were never meant to carry. You agree to voices that do not speak life. You agree to rhythms that drain you slowly. Awareness breaks those agreements. That is why distraction is so effective. It keeps you from noticing what you are agreeing to. I have watched you push through days when your heart needed rest. I have watched you ignore small warnings because stopping felt impossible. I have watched you normalize exhaustion and call it strength. That breaks my heart, not because you are weak, but because you are precious. You were not created to live constantly overwhelmed. You were created to live connected. The danger of distraction is not that it pulls you away all at once. It is that it slowly replaces depth with surface. Rare becomes quick. Listening becomes rare. Decisions become reactive. You still love me, but you do not linger with me. Relationship becomes something you fit in instead of something you live from. That shift changes everything. You may wonder why it feels harder to sense my guidance lately. Why choices feel more confusing. Why peace feels fragile. This is not because I am distant. It is because your attention hath been scattered. Scattered attention makes everything feel unclear. Focus restores clarity. I want you to understand that discernment needs quiet to function. Just as your body needs rest to heal, your spirit needs stillness to sense truth. When stillness disappears, discernment weakens. You begin to rely on logic alone, on habit alone, on what feels urgent instead of what is wise. That is not because you are failing. It is because you are overloaded. Lies trains you to react instead of reflect. It trains you to respond immediately instead of listening deeply. Over time, you stop asking, "Is this from me?" and start asking, "What do I need to do next?" That shift seems small, but it changes how you live. You become driven by demand instead of guided by truth. I am speaking with deep seriousness now because I do not want you to lose your sensitivity. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is a gift. It allows you to sense when something is off before it becomes obvious. It allows you to feel my leading gently. Distraction hardens sensitivity without you noticing. It numbs with once alive. You have felt this numbness trying to settle. That is why this message caught your attention. Something in you knew you needed to stop. That is not coincidence. That is your spirit responding to truth before numbness could deepen. I am not asking you to remove all noise from your life. I am asking you to stop letting noise replace listening. I am asking you to create space again, even small space, where you are not consuming, not reacting, not performing. space where you can simply be with me. This is not about doing more. It is about noticing more. Noticing when your heart feels heavy. Noticing when your peace feels thin. Noticing when you are moving too fast to feel. These are not signs of failure. They are invitations to return. I want you to feel the seriousness of this without feeling afraid. Fear paralyzes. Awareness strengthens. I am not warning you because something terrible is about to happen. I am warning you because something subtle has been happening, and now is the right time to stop it. You are not lost. You are drifting, and drifting can be corrected. All it takes is attention. All it takes is willingness to pause. All it takes is listening again. Stay with me here. Let this truth sink in gently. You do not need to fix everything today. You do not need to change your whole life at once. You only need to see clearly what distraction has been doing so you can choose presence again. I am with you in this. I am not watching from a distance. I am close, steady, patient. I am speaking because I love you too much to let numbness settle in quietly. Listen now, not with fear, but with honesty. Your discernment can be sharpened again. Your sensitivity can be restored. Your peace can deepen. But it begins by seeing distraction for what it is and choosing to stay present with me instead. Remain here. Let the noise fall back for a moment. Let your heart breathe. This seriousness is not meant to weigh you down. It is meant to wake you up gently, so you can live fully awake again. My child, I need to lift a heavy weight from your heart right now. You are not too busy. You are not failing because your schedule is full. You are not disappointing me because your days feel crowded. Let go of that shame. It does not come from me. What you are experiencing is not a lack of devotion. It is something else entirely. You are being pulled, quietly and persistently, and that pull has made everything feel heavier than it should. I see how often you blame yourself. You tell yourself that if you cared more, you would slow down. If you were stronger, you would focus better. If you were more disciplined, you would feel closer to me. The voice accusing you is not truth. It ignores what has really been happening. Busyness is not the problem. The problem is the unseen pull on your attention that has been working beneath the surface of your life. There is a difference between responsibility and distraction, and I want you to understand it clearly. Responsibility comes from love and purpose. It has weight, but it also has meaning. Distraction steals weight and meaning alike. Responsibility may tire you, but it does not hollow you out. Distraction leaves you exhausted in ways rest does not repair. You have been confusing the two, and that confusion has made you feel guilty for things you should be aware of instead. You have responsibilities I placed in your life. People you care for. Work you must do. Choices you must make. I am not asking you to abandon those things. I am not criticizing your effort. I see your faithfulness in showing up. But alongside responsibility, there has been a quiet pull that does not come from me. A pull that fragments your attention. A pull that fills every empty space with noise. A pull that keeps you from resting even when your body stops moving. That pull is why you feel tired even when you sleep. That pull is why your mind feels crowded even in quiet rooms. That pull is why prayer feels harder to enter and silence feels uncomfortable. This is not because you are weak. It is because something hath been competing for your attention constantly, and competition always creates strain. Say amen. You restored my joy if God has turned your sorrow into singing. And share this video. My beloved child, stop, listen carefully, for this is not just another moment in your day. This is not simply a message. This is an urgent warning spoken directly from my heart to yours. You have exactly 11 minutes left, and within these precious moments, I must tell you something deeply serious. Do not dismiss my voice, do not scroll away, and do not let your mind wander. I am your God, the one who created you, who knows every secret, every struggle, every hidden fear within your soul. I have interrupted your life today because the time to delay is over. The time for gentle whispers is gone. Now is the moment of truth, a holy moment in which you must hear clearly what I am about to reveal. My dear child, I have watched you every second of your life. Every tear you shed in the quiet moments when no one else was watching, I have caught and held close. Every heavy sigh, every heartache you hidden behind a forced smile, I see it all. I see the sleepless nights when worry steals your rest. I see the battles you fight inside your heart, feeling alone, feeling forgotten. But let me assure you, you have never once been out of my sight. Even when your heart whispered, God, are you still there? Have you forgotten me? I was right beside you, holding your spirit, keeping you strong, breathing life into your weary heart. You are not forgotten. You have never been forgotten. Yet, even now, there is something very serious I must tell you. There are chains you still carry, chains of doubt, chains of guilt, chains of regret, and chains of fear. You hold on to memories that only cause you pain. You keep walking paths that lead you away from my peace. My beloved, it breaks my heart to watch you struggle unnecessarily. These chains you carry were never meant to bind you. I created you to live freely, to walk joyfully, and to breathe easily. But the enemy has tricked you into believing lies that you are not enough, that you are beyond saving, that your mistakes have marked you forever. Hear me now. These lies must be shattered today. These burdens must be released this very moment, because time is swiftly running out. Listen carefully. The world around you is changing. A great shaking is coming, and everything you have trusted in that is not from me will crumble away. The shaking is not a punishment. It is a holy awakening. It is meant to strip away all that is false, all that keeps your heart distant from me. When this storm comes, and it will come swiftly, only those whose hearts are truly anchored in me will stand. Those who cling to worldly comforts, empty promises, and shallow pleasures will find themselves lost, confused, and afraid. But if you trust me fully, if you place your hand in mine and refuse to let go, you will stand firm. You will be protected, guided, and strengthened by my presence. In these last minutes, I plead with you. Do not waste another second holding on to the past. Do not waste another breath believing the enemy's lies. Do not waste another heartbeat running from me. Now is the moment to let go. Let go of bitterness. Let go of doubt. Let go of the fear that has held you captive. I'm right here with open arms, waiting for you to surrender everything to me. I promise you, if you lay down these burdens now, I will lift you up. I will fill your heart with joy again. I will heal the wounds that run deep. I will restore what you thought was forever broken. My angels are already on their way to you. Even now, as you read these words, my heavenly warriors surround you. You will soon feel their gentle presence, a calm, a peace you have never known before. This is not your imagination. This is my promise. They come bearing gifts of hope, healing, and restoration. They come to break the chains you've carried for far too long. They come to remind you who you truly are, my beloved child, precious in my sight, worthy of every blessing I have promised. Yet you must decide quickly. These are the final moments, and you must choose me now. Choose me, and find the peace you've been longing for. Choose me, and experience a freedom so pure, so complete, it will change your life forever. Choose me, and step into the future I have planned, a future filled with purpose, hope, and joy. But know this clearly: if you ignore my words today, if you turn away and choose to remain chained to your past, your heart will ache deeply, for this opportunity may never come again. My child, please understand, this is not a threat, but a loving plea. I do not want you to miss the blessings I have prepared specifically for you. Comment Amen if you've encountered His love today. I love you more than words can ever express. My love is unconditional, eternal, and stronger than any mistake you've ever made. But the time to act is now. Your breakthrough, your miracle, your deliverance, it is all waiting on the other side of your surrender. I have done everything necessary. The rest is up to you. Take my hand, trust my heart, and let me guide you through this storm. In my presence you will find safety, purpose, and everlasting peace. Come now, my beloved. Time is running out. Choose me, and let this moment change your life forever. My child, as the minutes slip away, let me speak deeper truths into your heart, truths that you desperately need, truths you've quietly hoped for but feared might never come. Your heart has grown tired from carrying so much weight. You've become weary from battles you never asked to fight. You've questioned whether your prayers even reach my ears, or if I have grown tired of hearing them. Let me assure you clearly, I never tire of hearing your voice. I never grow weary of your cries. In fact, every word you speak, every tear that falls from your eyes is precious to me. I treasure each prayer like a jewel, guarding them close until the perfect moment to answer arrives. Now, this very moment is one of those perfect moments, an appointment I have prepared long ago. You must hear this, my beloved. Your past does not control your future. Your mistakes do not erase the good plans I still have for you. Those scars you carry, those wounds that you believe make you unworthy, they are exactly the reasons why my grace is so powerful in your life. You see, my love is not given to those who have everything figured out. My love is for the broken, for the hurting, for the ones who feel forgotten and alone. My love is for you right where you are now. You don't have to fix yourself to come to me. You don't need to hide the broken pieces from me. Bring them openly and lay them before my feet, and let me mend your heart. Let me rewrite your story into something beautiful, something you never dreamed possible. My dear child, I know about the pain of betrayal you faced, the harsh words that pierced your heart, the disappointment from those you trusted deeply. You've wondered, will I ever feel whole again? Can I ever truly trust anyone again? Listen to my voice now. Though people have let you down, I never will. Though others have failed you, I remain faithful. Trust in me will never disappoint you, never leave you feeling abandoned. I am not like humans who come and go. I am unchanging, eternal, forever committed to loving you through every season of your life. When you place your trust in me, I promise you peace and stability. My love is the anchor that will hold you steady even in life's fiercest storms. My precious child, You have also carried the heavy weight of unforgiveness for far too long. You've told yourself it's protection, a shield to guard your heart from further pain. But this shield has become a prison, trapping you in bitterness and robbing you of joy. It has kept you bound in a cycle of pain and unable to fully embrace my healing touch. Let go of the unforgiveness. Give it to me. Hand over every hurtful memory, every painful word, every injustice you suffered. You were never meant to carry these alone. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is freedom. It does not justify wrongs done to you. It releases you from their grip. Forgive, as I have forgiven you, and watch how quickly your life fills with peace and joy again. My child, you are nearing the moment when my angels will reveal their presence around you. In these next minutes, a warmth will begin to fill your heart. You will sense a divine calm, a peace so profound it may move you to tears. Embrace this peace fully. This is no ordinary peace, it is my presence itself, descending from heaven into your very soul. As you feel this heavenly touch, know with absolute certainty that your trials are nearing their end. The pain you've endured has not been meaningless. It has shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than ever before. From this moment forward, you will carry a strength born from overcoming, a faith forged in the fire of adversity. I must tell you, however, the enemy will not surrender easily. He will whisper lies into your ear, saying you do not deserve this peace. He will remind you of every mistake, every flaw, trying desperately to pull you back into the darkness you've escaped. But when he comes, and he surely will stand firm in my truth, declare boldly that you belong to me, that your heart is mine, your future is mine, your destiny is held securely in my hands. Remind him and remind yourself that my voice alone has the final say over your life. Reject the enemy's whispers. Cling tightly to my promises. Beloved, the miracles you've longed for, the breakthroughs you hoped for, they are already moving toward you. Soon, you will see doors opening that once seemed permanently shut. Soon, you will witness relationships healed, dreams restored, and burdens lifted. Soon, you will know with absolute clarity that I, your God, have moved powerfully in your life. But remember this clearly, these blessings flow from your willingness to surrender completely to me. I am still here, my child, and I will not stop speaking until every word reaches the deep places in your soul. I am still calling, still reaching, still knocking at the door of your heart. Do not harden it. Do not turn away from what you feel stirring inside you right now. That heaviness lifting, the quiet peace slowly wrapping around you. That's me. I'm not far away. I'm right here. This is the moment you've cried for, the answer to the prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. I am listening. I have always been listening. And now I am answering. This is not a dream, not a trick, not a feeling that will pass. This is me, your God, pulling you close before the final minute runs out. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to pretend you're strong. I know where you've been broken. I know the questions you've asked in silence. Why did they leave? Why did that happen? Why did I have to carry so much pain? You've asked me these things, haven't you? And I have seen your confusion, your aching heart trying to make sense of it all. I want you to know, not a single tear you cried was wasted. Not a single wound went unseen. I held you through the nights when you thought no one cared. I stood beside you when you felt invisible, And even now, I have not left. I have carried you every step of the way, and I will continue to carry you, if only you let me. Don't try to fix yourself first. Don't try to clean your life up before coming to me. That's not how it works. Come as you are. Come broken. Come tired. Come confused. Come hurting, just come. I don't need perfection. I want your heart. I want your trust. I want to hold your hand and walk with you out of the darkness, step by step, into the light I've been preparing for you. This light isn't just hope, it's healing. It's peace. It's real joy that doesn't depend on your situation. And it's yours, right now, if you just say yes to me. I know that sometimes you feel like giving up. You feel like maybe life would be easier if you just stopped trying. But that's not the way, my child. That is the voice of darkness, not mine. I am the one who gives life, who restores, who makes all things new. I'm not finished with you. I'm not done with your story. You still have purpose. You still have something to give to this world. You still have love to receive and love to give. Don't let the enemy steal one more day from you. Don't let fear write your future. Give your life back to me, and I will write a new chapter with my own hand, a chapter filled with beauty, filled with healing, filled with meaning. Please support our channel. Our goals is to bring happiness in your life and to bring devotion and reverence towards God, and if you want, you can donate us through the super thanks button down below. Some of you reading this have been far from me for a long time. You've tried to find comfort in things that only left you empty. You've looked for love in places that broke your heart. You filled your days with noise so you wouldn't have to feel the silence at night. But in all that time, I never stopped loving you. I never stopped waiting. And today, I'm not pointing a finger at you, I'm opening my arms to welcome you home. All I want is your heart. Just come back. Let my love cover the shame. Let my mercy erase the guilt. Let my spirit lift you out of the pit you've fallen into. You are never too far gone for me. And for those of you who have followed me but feel tired, worn down, and forgotten, let me say this clearly. I see you. I know it's been hard. I know it's felt like I've been silent. But I've been working in the quiet, shaping things behind the scenes, protecting you from things you didn't even see. You have not been alone. I have not abandoned you. And now, your season is shifting. The ground is moving beneath your feet because I am bringing you into a new beginning. Don't be afraid. You are ready. I've trained you in the hidden place, and now I will show the world what I've placed inside you. My child, these last words are the most important. You have a choice to make. I have spoken clearly, and I have waited patiently. But now the moment has come. Will you say yes to me? Will you trust me with your life, with your heart, with your future? I promise you, what I have for you is so much better than anything you've lost. I can rebuild what's been broken. I can restore what's been taken. I can bring life where there has only been pain. But I will not force you. I am waiting for your yes. Say yes to me, and I will flood your soul with peace. Say yes, and I will send healing like rain to every dry place inside you. Say yes, and the angels will rejoice, for another heart has been rescued. Say yes, and never look back. Your new beginning starts now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, this is your moment. This is your rescue. This is your return. I know your heart is softening. I can feel the walls coming down. This is what I've been waiting for, not your perfection, not your achievements, but this moment of openness. This is where everything begins to change. You may not see it yet, but something is already shifting in the spirit. The pain you've been carrying for so long is starting to lift. The weight pressing on your chest, the tightness in your thoughts, it's loosening. That's me. It's my spirit working in you right now. I'm peeling away the layers of hurt and fear. I'm going deep into the places where you've felt forgotten, where you've hidden your pain so well even you stopped noticing it was there. You've wondered for so long if your life has real meaning. You've asked if your steps matter, if your voice makes a difference, if your story has value. My answer is simple and clear. Yes. 1,000 times yes. You matter more than you know. Every breath you take is noticed by me. Every step you take matters to me. There is not 1 second of your life that is random or wasted. You are here on purpose, and the world is better because you're in it. Even in the quiet moments, even when you feel small, you are seen. You are loved. You are important. You are my child, and that will never change. I want you to know something else, something you need to hear. You are not alone in your struggle. Many others walk through the same shadows, feel the same fears, cried the same silent tears. But here's the truth. I see every single one of them, and I am speaking to all who will listen. But today I'm speaking to you, personally, lovingly, urgently, because your heart has been broken for too long. You've carried pain you were never meant to carry. You've lived under a shadow of doubt and shame that I never put on you. And now I want to lift it. I want to shine light into every dark corner. I want to bring joy back into your heart, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. You may have made mistakes, and yes, you failed sometimes. But that doesn't make you a failure. That doesn't disqualify you from my love. In fact, it's why I came to forgive, to heal, to restore. My cross was not for perfect people. It was for the broken, the tired, the lost. It was for you. And I would do it all again, just for you. That's how deep my love runs. That's how far I've gone to bring you back to me. So stop punishing yourself. Stop replaying every wrong in your mind. I've already paid for it. I've already made a way for you to be free. Let me free you. Let me wash away every stain of guilt. Let me pour grace over every wound. Let me give you a new heart, soft and full of life. Even now, as you read these words, I'm touching you. You may feel warmth in your chest or tears in your eyes. That's not emotion alone. That's my spirit. That's my presence. That's me. And I'm not visiting you to leave again. I'm coming to stay, to dwell with you, to walk with you every day. Not just in your high moments, but in the quiet, the routine, the hard. I want to be with you when you wake up, when you go to sleep, and all the hours in between. I want to laugh with you, cry with you, grow with you. I want to show you things you've never seen. I want to unlock dreams in your heart that you forgot you even had. I want to take the broken pieces and turn them into something so beautiful you won't believe it came from your pain. But I won't force myself in. I knock, but you must open. I offer, but you must receive. All I ask is that you say yes. Yes to me. Yes to love. Yes to healing. Yes to the new life I've prepared just for you. Say yes, and let everything old fall away. Let the fear, the doubt, the shame, the regret, all drop off like old clothes that no longer fit. Step into the new. Step into peace. Step into purpose. Time is short, and this moment is holy. My arms are open wide, waiting. The heavens are quiet, listening for your reply. Will you come to me now? Will you let me be the one your heart leans on? I am not angry with you. I am not disappointed in you. I'm simply longing to be close again. I'm simply waiting to love you the way I always have, but in a way you can finally feel. My child, keep your heart open just a little longer. This moment is still yours. I'm still here. My voice is still speaking, soft and steady, reaching places in you that no one else can touch. The world may have told you to be strong, to hide your tears, to carry everything alone. But I am telling you something different. I am telling you it's okay to fall into my arms. It's okay to need me. It's okay to cry. You do not need to wear a mask with me. You do not need to pretend. I already know your heart, your thoughts, your worries. And still, I stay. Still, I choose you. Still, I love you. You know what I see when I look at you. I don't see your mistakes. I don't see your fears. I see the child I created. I see the one I formed with care, with purpose, with beauty. I see the light inside you that's never gone out. Even if you feel broken, even if the world has made you feel worthless to me, you are priceless. There is no one like you. There never has been and never will be. You are not just another person. You are mine. You carry my breath in your lungs. You carry my fingerprints in your design. I made you, and I don't make mistakes. There's more I want you to know. More I want you to feel. I want you to feel safe again. I want you to rest, really rest, without the weight of fear on your chest. I want your mind to stop racing at night, to stop wondering what will happen tomorrow. I want you to sleep peacefully, knowing I am watching over you. I want your heart to beat steady, not from fear but from trust. Trust that I am holding your future. Trust that I will never leave you. Trust that whatever is ahead, I have already gone before you to make a way. I know how many times life has let you down. I know how hard it is for you to trust again. You've been told promises before, only to watch them break like glass. But I am not like people. My promises are never broken. When I say I love you, I mean it forever. When I say I will provide for you, I will. When I say I am with you, even in the fire, even in the storm, even in the silence I am. I never lie. I never change. My love is not weak. It is not distant. It is strong. It is near. It is forever. And I'm not just offering you comfort. I'm offering you purpose. You have something special inside you. Something only you can bring into this world. You may not see it yet, but I do. I put it there as a gift, a calling, a reason. Don't let fear keep you small. Don't let your past chain you down. I can use all of it, the pain, the failures, the tears, to build something beautiful. Nothing in your life has been wasted. I can turn it all into purpose. But you must give it to me. You must trust me with it. Place it in my hands, and watch what I can do. Here's a door opening now. A door to healing. A door to freedom. A door to a new beginning. And I'm standing on the other side, waiting for you. You don't need to know what's on the other side. You just need to know that I'm there. You've tried doing it your way. You've tried carrying it all. And still, the ache remains. But if you take my hand now, if you step through that door, you will walk into peace like you've never known before. You will feel joy again. You will feel alive again. Not because everything around you is perfect, but because you will know that I am with you. You don't need to be afraid of starting over. I'm not afraid of your mess. I'm not scared of your questions. I don't run from your struggles. I move closer. I come in. I bring light. I bring truth. I bring love that never gives up. And I am offering it now. Right now. This is your moment. I have waited so long to hold you, to help you, to show you who you really are. Say yes to me. That's all I ask. Say yes to love. Say yes to healing. Say yes to peace. I will do the rest. I will walk with you every step. I will teach you how to breathe again. I will help you let go of the pain. I will fill the empty places in your heart. I will never leave your side. Never. Write amen if you believe this word was for you. My child, you are almost at the end of this message. But what I am giving you does not end here. It is just beginning. My love is not a message on a screen. It is a life that fills every part of you. If you welcome me, I will never leave. I will live in your heart and walk with you every single day. I am not done speaking, and you are not done listening. This moment is still holy. The space between your heart and mine is still open, and I want to fill it with more of my love. You don't need to write. You don't need to hurry away. Let every word I speak rest in your spirit like rain on dry ground. You've gone through so many dry seasons, times when it felt like nothing was growing, when your prayers seemed to hit a wall, when your strength ran low. But now, I am watering your soul. I am bringing life back to the places in you that felt forgotten. Do you remember the dreams you once had? The quiet hopes you tucked away in the corners of your heart. The things you stopped believing for because too much time had passed, or because life got too hard. I haven't forgotten them. I haven't forgotten you. I remember every single one. And I want to tell you something important. It's not too late. No, my child, it is not too late for you. Out of a load, out of a vision, out of you, and out of a I am the God who restores what was lost. I am the God who brings back what seemed gone forever. Even if the dream looks dead, I can breathe life into it again. Even if the door looks shut, I can open it. Even if you feel like you've run out of time, I can make a way where there seems to be no way. But first, you must believe me. You must believe that I still have good things for you. I know life has made you cautious. I know pain has made you doubt. But I'm not asking for perfect faith. I'm asking for a willing heart. Just give me your trust, even a little. Give me your yes, even if it's shaky. Give me your hand, even if it trembles. I can work with that. I can build something beautiful from the smallest seed of faith. And for those who feel unworthy, hear me now. You are not too dirty. You are not too broken. You are not too forgotten. I don't look at you with disgust. I look at you with deep, deep love. I see beyond the surface. I see the pain that caused the fall. I see the cry behind the silence. I see the longing behind every wrong choice. And I say, come home. I am not here to punish. I am here to forgive. I am not here to shame. I am here to lift you up. You don't need to earn my love. You already have it. It has never left you. It was there in the darkest night, and it is here now, ready to light your way. Let me carry the burdens you've tried to hide, the guilt that presses on your chest, the sadness you can't explain, the fear that keeps coming back. Give it all to me. You don't have to carry it alone. You never did. I am strong enough for both of us. I am peace in your storm. I am calm in your chaos. I am light in your darkness. And I will never walk away. My child, do you feel that gentle stirring in your heart? That warmth, that quiet strength rising? That is me. That is my spirit waking you up from the inside. You are not the same as you were before you read this. Something has changed. Hope has come love. Love has taken root. And faith is growing again. Don't let fear steal this moment. Don't let doubt take this away from you. Hold on to what you feel right now. It is real. It is mine. And it is yours forever. Before I end this video, let's pray together. Dear Jesus, I come to you with a heart that feels heavy and a mind that feels tired. Life has been difficult lately, and I am struggling to stay strong. There are moments when I feel lost, unsure of what to do or where to turn. But I know that you are near, and you always listen when I call. Please wrap me in your love today. Let me feel the warmth of your presence and the peace of your voice. Remind me that I am not alone, even when the silence feels loud and the pain feels deep. You are my comfort, my hiding place, and my gentle healer. Lord, I ask for healing not just in my body, but in my mind and heart. Please take away the sadness, the worry, and the confusion. Replace them with calmness, with joy, and with clarity. Let your light shine in every dark place inside me. Help me to breathe deeply again, to smile without forcing it, and to laugh without fear. Teach me to rest in you and not carry every burden on my own. Give me strength for today and hope for tomorrow. When I feel weak, remind me that you are strong. When I feel unworthy, remind me of your love. When I feel like giving up, remind me that you never will. Thank you, Jesus, for being my healer, my helper, and my constant friend. I trust that you are working in me even when I don't see it. I believe you will bring peace to my heart and joy to my soul. In your holy name I pray, amen. Type amen if you receive this message and share this video to bless someone else today. My child, please answer me. I am calling you by name in your spirit, and I need you to hear the longing in my voice. I am not shouting at you. I am not commanding you. I am pleading with you, because my heart has been turned toward you for so long. I have been waiting, watching, staying near even when you pulled away. And now I am calling again, not with anger, but with a depth of love that aches to be answered. Please pause. Just pause. Let everything else fall quiet for a moment. This is not for everyone. This is not meant to be overheard. This is between you and me. I am speaking to you personally, intentionally, urgently. I am not asking for much. Just 90 seconds. 90 seconds of your full attention. Compared to what is at stake, that is so small. Compared to how long I have waited, it is nothing. And yet, it means everything. I have been waiting for a response from you for a long time. Longer than you realize. I waited through your confusion. I waited through your exhaustion. I waited while you distracted yourself because listening felt too heavy. I waited while you told yourself you would answer me later, when things felt clearer, when life slowed down, when you felt ready. I waited because love is patient. But patience does not mean indifference. My waiting hath been filled with longing, not distance. Hear me clearly now. This is not manipulation. This is not drama. This is not exaggeration. I am not trying to scare you into responding. I am telling you the truth plainly because time matters. Moments matter. Opportunities to respond do not remain open forever in the same way. This is the final warning in this form, not because my love ends, but because moments do. Seasons shift. Windows close quietly. And I do not want you to miss what could still change. Silence is also a response. I need you to understand that. Choosing not to answer is still choosing. Ignoring this moment is still a decision. I am not saying that to shame you. I am saying it because awareness brings power. You are not passive here. You are not helpless. You are being invited to respond, and heaven is watching this moment closely, not with judgment, but with attention. Right now, heaven is still. Heaven is attentive. Heaven is leaning in because something meaningful is happening between you and me. Not later. Now. This is your moment. Not a random one. Not an ordinary one. This moment has weight because it carries choice. And choice shapes direction. I know fear wants to rise in you. Fear of what answering might require. Fear of change. Fear of disappointment. Fear of hope returning only to be hurt again. Let me gently remove that fear. I am not asking you to promise anything. I am not asking you to fix your life in 90 seconds. I am asking you to acknowledge me, to answer me, to say, even quietly within yourself, I am listening. My love for you has not changed. It has not weakened. It has not grown tired. I am not here because you failed. I am here because you matter. I am here because I see where continued silence leads, and I refuse to let you drift without one final, clear invitation. If you ignore this, things will shift permanently. Not because I will abandon you, but because unanswered moments shape habits, and habits shape hearts. Please understand me. I am not threatening you. I am loving you honestly. Love sometimes whispers. Love sometimes waits. And sometimes love must speak plainly and say, answer me now. Not to control, but to protect. Not to pressure, but to preserve what is still possible. I am asking for just 90 seconds because 90 seconds of true attention can change direction. Awareness begins everything. Healing begins with attention. Restoration begins with response. You do not need perfect words. You do not need a perfect heart. You only need willingness. This is not about religion. It is not about performance. It is not about rules or labels or appearances. Strip all of that away. This is about relationship, about connection, about you no longer carrying everything alone while pretending you are fine, about you finally letting yourself Be seen by me. Please answer me. I have been waiting for so long. Waiting while you survived. Waiting while you numbed yourself. Waiting while you questioned quietly. Waiting while you felt alone even when surrounded. I was never far. I was always near, waiting for this moment where you would finally stop and listen. This is your moment. Not because everything will suddenly become easy, but because everything can begin to change. Direction can shift. Weight can lift. Clarity can begin to form. But it begins with response. Answer me now. Just 90 seconds. Stay here. Listen. Let this moment finish what it started. Everything can still change if you answer now. My child, I want you to know how long I have been waiting for you. Not waiting with impatience, not tapping my foot or counting your failures, but waiting with a patience that only love carries. I have been near you in every season, even when you did not notice me, even when you felt alone, even when you assumed I had moved on. I did not. I stayed. I waited. I waited in moments when you were unsure what you believed anymore. I waited when your prayers grew shorter, quieter or stopped altogether. I waited when life became heavy and you decided it was easier to keep moving than to stop and feel. I did not withdraw because you were silent. I did not turn away because you were distracted. I stayed close, watching, listening, holding space for the moment when you would be ready to answer me again. Type Amen. I'm walking into my God-given destiny if He's leading your every step. There were many times I could have interrupted you sooner. I could have broken into your life loudly, forced clarity, shaken things until you had no choice but to look up. But love that forces is not love. I respect the freedom I gave you. I honor your will, even when it costs me pain to watch you struggle alone. I waited quietly because I wanted your response to be real, not coerced, not driven by fear, but chosen from the heart. I saw you walk through confusion and not ask for help. I saw you sit with questions you were afraid to voice. I saw you grow tired and tell yourself you just needed to push a little longer. I saw you learn how to survive without resting, how to cope without healing, how to keep functioning while your heart carried weight it was never meant to hold. And still, I waited. There were moments when you felt a gentle pull inside, a thought that came and went, a nudge you quickly dismissed. That was me, speaking softly, because at that time softness was all your heart could handle. I did not speak louder then because you were still learning. You were still becoming. You were still fragile in ways you did not yet understand. So I waited, protecting you even from truths that would have overwhelmed you too soon. Waiting is not easy when you love deeply. It is painful to watch someone you love carry burdens unnecessarily. It hurts to see them believe they are alone when you are standing right there. There were times when my heart grieved as I watched you struggle with things I longed to help you with. I watched you blame yourself for what was not your fault. I watched you feel unseen, misunderstood, and weary. And I stayed. I stayed faithful when you were inconsistent. I stayed present when you felt distant. I stayed gentle when you were hard on yourself. My faithfulness has never depended on your awareness of me. It has never depended on your perfect response. I have been faithful in silence, faithful in waiting, faithful in seasons when you thought nothing was happening. You may think that because time passed, the moment passed too. But understand this, waiting does not mean forgetting. Waiting does not mean losing interest. Waiting does not mean love grows weak. My waiting has been active. I have been guarding you, redirecting you, softening consequences, and keeping doors from closing completely while you were not ready to walk through them. There were times I watched you choose distraction over stillness. Not because you did not care, but because stillness felt too heavy. I did not punish you for that. I understood it. You were doing what you knew how to do to survive. So I waited for the moment when survival would no longer be enough, when your heart would begin to ache for something deeper, something truer, something real. I waited through seasons when you thought I was silent. I was not silent. I was patient. Silence and patience are not the same thing. Silence feels empty. Patience is full of intention. Every moment I waited, I was preparing you, shaping you, strengthening you in ways you could not see. Even your delays taught you something. Even your detours added depth. Nothing about your journey has been wasted. You may wonder why I did not step in sooner, why I allowed you to struggle for so long. Hear me gently now. Some lessons cannot be rushed. Some awareness only comes after experience. Some healing only becomes possible when you realize you cannot carry everything on your own. I did not abandon you to teach you a lesson. I stayed with you while you learned it. My love has never forced itself on you. I do not break down doors. I knock. I wait. I return again and again because I believe in you. Because I value your yes. Because relationship means a choice. And even when you did not answer, I did not stop waiting. There were nights when you felt empty and did not know why. Nights when you stared into the dark, feeling something missing but unable to name it. I was there in those moments, waiting, not accusing, not demanding, just present, hoping for the day when you would finally stop running and turn toward me. I have been faithful despite silence. Faithful when you spoke to me and when you did not. Faithful when you trusted and when you doubted. Faithful when you felt close and when you felt far. My faithfulness does not fluctuate with your attention. It flows from who I am. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us via Super Thanks to show your support. Now you are here. Now you are listening. And this is why I waited. Not to say I told you so, but to say I am still here. Still loving you. Still ready to walk with you. Still willing to carry what you no longer have to carry alone. Do not measure my waiting as absence. Measure it as patience. Measure it as love that refused to leave. Measure it as faithfulness that endured every silent season. I have waited for you because you are worth waiting for. And I am still here now, not tired of you, not disappointed in you, but ready, as I always have been, to meet you where you are and walk forward together. My child, there were moments when you chose silence. I do not say this to accuse you, and I do not say it to reopen wounds. I say it because I want you to understand your own story with gentleness and truth. I remember those moments clearly, not as failures, but as places where fear, fatigue, and uncertainty spoke louder than trust. I was there in each of them, even when you turned away. There were times when I nudged your heart softly and you felt it, even if only for a second. A thought that came and stayed longer than usual. A quiet discomfort when something did not feel right. A sense that you should pause, speak, leave, or begin something new. You noticed it. You questioned it. And then you chose silence. You told yourself it was nothing. You told yourself you were overthinking. You told yourself you would listen later. You delayed, not because you did not care, but because delay felt safer than response. Response felt like commitment. Response felt like change. Silence felt like control. So you postponed. You found reasons that sounded responsible. You told yourself that timing was wrong, that circumstances were complicated, that you needed more clarity before acting. Those excuses were not lies. They were shields. They protected you from uncertainty, but they also kept you from movement. I saw the moments when you said, "Not now." I heard the quiet bargains you made with yourself. Later, when things calm down. Later, when I feel stronger. Later, when I am more certain. You did not say no to me outright. You said not yet. And I respected that, even when it cost you peace. I want you to hear this without shame. I am not angry with you for those moments. I am not disappointed in you. I feel sorrow, not condemnation. Sorrow because I saw how heavy your heart already was, and how much lighter it could have been if you had answered sooner. Sorrow because I watched you carry questions alone that you never needed to carry by yourself. Silence matters, my child. Not because it offends me, but because it shapes you. When you ignore what you sense, even gently, your heart learns a pattern. It learns to delay awareness. It learns to quiet intuition. It learns to choose comfort over truth. Not all at once. Slowly. Almost imperceptibly. That is how avoidance works. It does not shout. It whispers, "This can wait." Avoidance slowly shapes the heart by teaching it not to respond. Each time you choose silence, responding becomes a little harder next time. Each time you postpone, clarity feels a little further away. Not because I move, but because your sensitivity dulls. The heart adapts to what it practices. If it practices listening, it grows sharper. If it practices avoiding, it grows quieter. I know you did not mean to ignore me. You were overwhelmed. You were tired. You were already stretched thin. Sometimes silence felt like the only way to survive. You felt that if you opened one more door emotionally or spiritually, everything might spill out. So you stayed quiet. You stayed busy. You stayed distracted. And I understood why. But silence also kept you from relief. It kept you from rest. It kept you from hearing reassurance when you needed it most. It allowed fear to fill the gaps where truth could have spoken. When you stayed silent, other voices stepped in. Doubt, self-criticism, worry. They spoke loudly in the quiet you avoided sharing with me. There were moments when your heart wanted to cry out, but your mouth stayed closed. Moments when you needed help but convinced yourself you should handle it alone. Moments when you longed for guidance but were afraid of what guidance might ask of you. Silence felt like protection, but it also became a burden. I do not recount these moments to bring regret. Regret without hope only wounds. I recount them to bring understanding. Understanding opens the door to change. You are not trapped by your past silence, but you need to recognize it to avoid repeating it. I stayed near you even when you chose silence. I did not step back. I did not withdraw my presence. I waited. I softened consequences where I could. I kept you from pasts that would have harmed you more deeply. My compassion did not stop because you did not respond. But some things were delayed, not because I withheld them, but because response opens doors that silence keeps closed. Silence can be respectful at times, but avoidance is different. Avoidance says, I am afraid to look, and fear grows in darkness. When you do not bring your fears into the light, they shape you quietly. They influence your choices. They shrink your courage. That is why silence matters. Not because I demand words, but because your heart needs truth. I know you feared that responding would cost you something. You feared losing control. You feared disappointment. You feared that if you listened, you would have to change, and change felt exhausting. So you stayed quiet. You stayed where things were familiar, even if they were heavy. But my child, silence has already cost you things too. It has cost you peace at times. It has cost you clarity. It has cost you rest. I do not say this to blame you, but to help you see why I am speaking so clearly now. Silence has shaped your heart long enough. It does not have to shape it anymore. You are not condemned for the moments you chose silence. You are invited now to choose response. One honest response can begin to undo years of avoidance. One moment of openness can restore sensitivity that felt lost. It is not too late. I am not here to replay your past. I am here to change your present. I am speaking now because I know you are capable of listening now. Your heart is still soft enough to respond. You are still aware enough to feel this moment. It matters more than how long you were silent before. Do not be afraid of answering me now because of the times you did not before. I am not keeping score. I am offering connection. Let the sorrow you feel turn into closeness, not shame. Let awareness replace avoidance. Let honesty replace silence. I am still here. I am still listening. And I am still waiting, not with disappointment, but with hope, because your story is not finished, and silence does not get the final word. Say amen. Jesus is my refuge and strength if he's your safe place in every storm. My child, when I say this is the final warning in this form, I need you to hear me carefully, without fear filling in the gaps. Final does not mean abandonment. Final does not mean my love is ending. Final does not mean I will disappear if you do not respond perfectly. My love does not expire. My presence does not withdraw. What changes are moments, not mercy. Windows, not my heart. There are seasons in your life, and there are windows within those seasons. Seasons are longer stretches of time where growth happens slowly, where lessons unfold, where you learn through experience. Windows are different. Windows are moments of heightened clarity, moments where awareness is sharpened, where something can be seen, understood, or chosen more easily than at any other time. This moment is a window. Grace always exists. I need you to know that. Grace does not run out. Grace does not disappear because you hesitate. Grace is part of who I am. But moments like this one do pass. Not because I withdraw them angrily, but because time moves forward and hearts change with what they practice. When a window is open, responding feels clearer. When it closes, responding feels heavier, slower, harder than it needed to be. This is why I am speaking with such clarity now. Not to scare you, but to help you recognize where you are standing. You are standing in a moment where responding will cost you less than it will later. Right now, your heart is open enough to feel this. You can still sense the weight of my words without shutting down. You can still feel urgency without panic. That is not guaranteed forever. Final, in this sense, means I will not keep repeating this same call in the same way. I will not keep interrupting you with the same clarity, the same intensity, the same openness in your heart. Not because I stop caring, but because hearts adjust to what they repeatedly ignore. Repeated warnings lose their impact when they are always postponed. And I love you too much to let this turn into background noise. I want you to understand the kindness behind this. If I kept speaking this same way again and again, your urgency would lose meaning. You would tell yourself, there will always be another moment like this. And that belief would slowly teach you to delay indefinitely. That is not freedom. That is quiet captivity to postponement. Grace still exists even if you do not respond now. I will still be near. I will still guide you where you allow me. But something would change internally. Responding later would require more effort, more courage, more breaking through habits that are forming now. Responding now is gentler. That is why I am asking you to answer while the door is open. Doors do not always slam shut. Most doors close quietly. One day you simply realize you do not feel what you once felt. The urgency fades. The sensitivity dulls. The awareness that once pressed on your heart becomes distant. And then you wonder why responding feels so hard, why faith feels heavier, why clarity feels far away. It is not because I move. It is because the moment passed. I am not saying this to fill you with regret. I am saying it to awaken you to opportunity. Opportunity always feels like weight before it feels like gift. But it is a gift. Right now, you are being given the chance to respond while your heart is still tender, while awareness is still sharp, while listening still feels possible. Responding while the door is open does not mean having everything figured out. It does not mean making a lifelong promise. It does not mean sudden perfection. It means choosing awareness over avoidance. It means choosing honesty over silence. It means acknowledging me instead of continuing to drift. This is why this is the final warning in this form. Because this form requires openness. It requires sensitivity. It requires a heart that can still feel the seriousness without hardening. And I see that in you right now. I see that you can still feel this. I see that you are still capable of responding. That is why I am speaking now and not later. I want you to feel the weight of this without fear. Weight does not mean danger. Weight means importance. Some moments are heavy because they shape direction more than others. This is one of those moments. Not because everything depends on it, but because something important begins or remains delayed depending on how you respond. I am not standing over you with a clock. I am standing beside you, pointing to the open door. I'm saying here, now, while it is easier, while you can still hear me clearly. That is love. That is care. That is patience reaching its moment of clarity. If you choose not to respond now, I will not abandon you. But I will not keep knocking the same way. I will speak differently, more quietly, more indirectly. And you may not notice as easily. Not because I stop speaking, but because your attention will have learned to move on. I want better for you than a life shaped by delay. I want your path lighter than it has been. I want your growth to come through awareness, not through repeated struggle. That is why I am speaking now, with love that is honest and clear. Do not let the word final scare you. Let it focus you. Let it help you understand that this moment matters. Let it draw you closer instead of pushing you away. You are not being threatened. You are being trusted with a choice. The door is open now. Not forever. Now. And responding does not require perfection. It requires presence. Stay here. Listen. Answer me while you can still feel this moment. My child, I want to speak to you honestly now about what your silence has been costing you. Not to accuse you, not to burden you with guilt, but to help you see clearly what has been slipping away quietly while you waited, postponed, and told yourself there would be time later. This is not about punishment. It is about consequence, and there is a difference born out of love. Silence does not announce what it takes from you. It does not arrive loudly or violently. It removes things gently, almost kindly, so you barely notice at first. You do not wake up one day and realize peace is gone. You simply feel a little more restless than before. You do not suddenly lose clarity. You just feel a little more unsure, a little more confused, a little more tired of deciding. This is how delay works. It does not break you all at once. It slowly drains what was meant to sustain you. Your silence has been costing you peace. Not the kind of peace that depends on circumstances, but the deep inner steadiness that comes from alignment. There were moments when peace was close, when relief was available, when rest could have settled in. But silence kept you moving instead of resting. It kept you managing instead of releasing. And so peace remained nearby but unreceived, like a gift left unopened because you were too busy to stop. Your silence has also been costing you clarity. Clarity grows where honesty lies. When you delay answering, delay listening, delay responding, your thoughts multiply without direction. Questions pile up without resolution. You begin to doubt what you once sensed clearly. You second-guess your own intuition. You tell yourself you are confused, when in truth, you are simply unheard by yourself and by me. Silence allows confusion to take root where clarity once waited patiently. Sensitivity had been another quiet loss. Sensitivity to my voice. Sensitivity to your own needs. Sensitivity to when something is misaligned. At first, you felt small nudges easily. You noticed discomfort quickly. You sensed when something needed attention. But repeated silence teaches the heart to turn down its volume. What once felt urgent now feels distant. What once stirred you now barely registers. This is not because you became bad or faithless. It is because the heart adapts to what it practices. I want you to understand this gently. You did not lose sensitivity because I stopped speaking. You lost it because listening was postponed too often. Sensitivity grows through response. It weakens through avoidance. And the cost of weakened sensitivity is not dramatic failure, but repetition. You have been repeating cycles that could have ended sooner. Same emotions resurfacing. Same exhaustion returning. Same questions circling without answers. Same longing rising and being put down again. Progress feels slow not because you are incapable, but because silence keeps resetting you to the same starting point. When responses delay, lessons repeat. When awareness is postponed, growth takes longer than it needs to. This is not punishment. I need you to hear that clearly. Punishment is imposed. Consequence unfolds. I do not punish you for silence, but silence carries its own weight. When you do not address what needs attention, it does not disappear. It waits. And waiting things tend to return louder, heavier, more insistent. I see how tired you are of repeating yourself internally. Tired of promising yourself change and feeling stuck. Tired of cycles that feel familiar but draining. Silence has kept you circling instead of moving forward. Not because you are incapable of progress, but because progress requires engagement. It requires response. There were moments when a simple response could have shifted direction gently. A pause, an honest prayer, a willingness to stop and feel. Those moments passed quietly, not because I withdrew them, but because silence moved you past them. And each missed moment added a little more weight to your journey. I am not saying this to overwhelm you. I am saying it to bring understanding. Understanding breaks cycles. Shame keeps them alive. You do not need to punish yourself for the cost of silence. You need to see it clearly so you do not continue paying it. Your silence has also cost you ease. Life has felt harder than it needed to be. Not because your path was wrong, but because you have been carrying things longer than required. You held burdens meant to be released. You carried questions meant to be answered. You endured confusion meant to be clarified. Silence made you strong, but strength without rest becomes strain. I watched you push through days when relief was available. I watched you normalize heaviness that was never meant to become familiar. I watched you tell yourself this is just how life is now. And I want you to know something important. It does not have to be this heavy. Consequences are not condemnation. They are information. They show you what needs attention. The cost you feel now is not proof that you failed. It is proof that something needs to change. And change is still possible. Silence has taken peace, clarity, sensitivity, and momentum, but it has not taken your future. It has not taken my love. It has not taken the possibility of restoration. Those things are still here, but they require response to be received. I am revealing this to you now not to make you feel regret, but to help you stop the quiet losses from continuing. Awareness restores what silence weakened. One honest response can begin to return peace. One moment of listening can sharpen clarity again. One choice to stop avoiding can restore sensitivity. You may feel sadness as you hear this. Let it be clean sadness, not heavy shame. Sadness that leads to closeness, not distance. Sadness that says, I see now, not I failed. Seeing is the beginning of healing. I am not keeping a record against you. I am not measuring how much was lost. I am focused on what can still be restored. Right, amen. I trust you completely.